Hi there, it's Dan Dawkins reporting for Games Radar. You join us in perpetually sunny LA. We're just on the back of a very impressive Ubisoft conference. They're rapidly becoming one of the publishers to watch every year. Let's start right at the top with what's probably stolen the show, if not, the entire show, Ghost Recon Wildlands. James, tell us about that. It looked pretty good, right?
Yeah, so we just come from EA and obviously Star Wars Battlefront, so Ubisoft had to show off something good, and yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands looks incredible. It's a giant open world, and some of the screenshots and images we saw the world looked absolutely incredible. Like, there was mountains in it, there was giant forests, you could go right down into like the depths of the oceans and things. It looked like a really, really impressive game.
Yeah, it looked like kind of the environment's almost evocative of GTA, but with a gameplay thing that's clearly built around, like, espionage and combat. It looked really exciting, and that throws it kind of almost into a ballpark with MGS5. So for me, that was one of the standouts. So good, I'd almost say cancel the Division. It looks so good. Maybe that's not the plan they're aiming for. What else stood out for you, James?
We had a new South Park called The Fractured Butthole. There's a joke in there that they've very cleverly disguised with wording, but that's a follow-up to The Stick of Truth, which was an excellent game. I really enjoyed that. It looks like just more of the same, but there's no problem with more of the same from South Park because that looks brilliant. We saw For Honor, which is a new IP that Ubisoft always like to show a new IP at E3. This one's For Honor. It's a medieval sword-based kind of siege combat 4-on-4 multiplayer element, which sort of ties into the Division as well, because they're doing a lot of the 4-on-4 in the Division. So it's Ubisoft are very good at sharing tech between their titles. It looks like they've done the same for the new Ghost Recon, like sort of taking stuff from the Division. This is obviously taking stuff from the Division multiplayer, adding it to a new medieval twist, which is great because medieval's in right now. Everyone loves a bit of Game of Thrones, set in that kind of environment. I think that'll be really, really good. We saw a new The Crew.
Yeah, no one, as they always say, no one expects The Crew, and certainly not a sequel to The Crew. The original was quite ambitious, very large world. It's interesting to see it back. Maybe not the absolute show stealer, but
no. But then the tech, we were saying the tech that they used for The Crew can then be applied to Ghost Recon. So that's a good positive from there. We saw Trials Fusion called Awesome Level Max, which looks like it's a skew on when they did Far Cry Blood Dragon and made it go all 80s and insane. This is, I think the trailer had a cat riding a unicorn down a path. The traditional Trials Fusion stuff of the levels are like insane anyway. Throw in a unicorn in there and some lasers, and you've probably got a good game. Hopefully we'll see some more of that soon.
Yeah, and it's worth noting what we didn't see, which is actual gameplay from Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. Now, our speculation, and we're literally about go in a cab and find out. We're heading off to Sony. Will we see Assassin's Creed at the Sony conference? If not, you'll see plenty of it on the show floor. So yeah, it's all set, all systems Sony. Join us at the end of the day to see our flagship show, Who Won E3. Quite frankly, at this stage, I'm scared to even begin to work it out. It's been a sensational day for video games.
Speaking of Sony, Dan, just before we go, hot tip, Morpheus seems to have been renamed Sony Real Eyes. So look out for that at the show.
Wow.